Welcome students. Today we'll discuss relative clause in this video. First I will tell you what clause is. Clause is a group of words that includes subject and verb. Clause is a group of words that includes subject and verb. So we can say clause is a part of sentence which includes both subject and verb. Example, she laughed. She laughed. She is a subject and laughed is a verb. So the sentence contains both subject plus verb. We can say it is clause, but one clause. Why? Because it contains one subject and one verb. Another example, I waited for him, but he didn't come. I waited for him. This part of sentence contains one subject and one verb. And this part of sentence also contains one subject and one verb. So we can say this sentence contains two clauses because both the parts of the sentence includes the subject as well as the verb. So we can say both the parts of the sentence are clauses. Okay? So let's come to the major parts of clause. Clauses have two major parts. Clause have two major parts. One, independent clause or main clause. Dependent clause or subordinate clause. I'll make you understand by this example. I saw a man who was crying. I saw a man who was crying. The first clause, I saw a man, gives a complete meaning. It gives a complete meaning. Okay? And it can alone stand as a complete sentence. It can alone stand as a complete sentence. Such a sentence or such a part of sentence is called independent clause. Part of sentence is called independent clause. On the other hand, the second clause, who was crying, does not give a complete meaning and can't stand as a complete sentence. Okay? It depends on the main clause. Such a clause is called subordinate clause. Okay? Let's come to our own topic, that is relative clause. Relative clause. What relative clause is? You have learned about the clause. Now I will tell you what relative clause is. Relative clause is a part of subordinate clause. It is a part of subordinate clause. Tells us which person or thing the speaker means. Which person or the speaker means. We can say that relative clause gives us extra information about the subject or object mentioned in the sentence. So, relative clause gives us extra information about the clause in the sentence. It includes who, which, when, where, etc. Okay? Relative clause is also known as adjective clause. You have learned that adjective is the part of a speech. It is a word that describes noun or pronoun. So we can say that relative clause is also known as adjective clause. Why? Because it gives more information about a noun. It describes noun or pronoun. Example, he is the boy who broke the window. He is the boy who broke the window. In this sentence, he is the boy is a main clause and broke the window is the subordinate clause. Okay? But who is the connector? Who is the connector? Who is the connector? Which describes the boy. Which describes the boy. Boy is the noun. Boy is a noun. Any clause which describes noun or pronoun in main clause. Any clause which describes noun or pronoun in the main clause is called relative clause or adjective clause. Relative clause or adjective clause. Relative clause is introduced by. Relative clause can be written by relative pronoun or relative adverb. Relative pronoun and relative adverb. And antecedent. Relative pronoun, relative adverb, antecedent. Relative pronoun includes the words who, whose, whom, that, and which. Relative adverb contains when, where, why, or how. And antecedent, the noun to which the clause is related. The noun to which the clause is related. Example, I know the girl who is famous. Actress. I know the girl who is famous. Actress. Here, girl is antecedent because it comes before. It comes before the clause. It comes before the clause. It is a noun to which the clause is related. This part of clause is related with this noun. So we can say it is antecedent. It is antecedent. I know the famous actor. If I will write I know the famous actor, I can't write it because it does not contain any noun before the clause. So it is wrong. Now, relative pronoun. Relative pronoun contains subjective pronoun, objective pronoun, possessive pronoun. Subjective pronoun, objective pronoun, and possessive pronoun. Subjective pronoun acts as a subject of a sentence. That is, it gives the subject of a sentence. For person, it is who, what. For animals, it is which, that. For place, it is where. For time, it is when. For reason, it is why and what. Objective pronoun are used when a pronoun is an subject in sentence. Sorry, here it is object, not subject. Objective pronoun are used when a pronoun is an object in sentence. Is an object in sentence. Here, they know him. They know him is the example. They know him. Him is the object. Because, why? Because it receives the action. It receives the action. So it is objective pronoun because it is used as an object in the sentence. For person it is whom, what. For animals it is which, that. For place it is where. For time it is when. For reason it is why, what, etc. Okay. Possessive pronoun. Possessive pronoun are words that demonstrates ownership. Mine, mine, our, ours, its, his, her, etc. We can use possessive pronoun instead of full noun phrase to avoid repetition. Possessive contains belongings, ownership, which describes the ownership, which describes the belongings. Like, we can use possessive pronoun instead of full noun phrase to avoid repetition. Here I will give you an example. Is that John's car? No, it is mine. No, it is mine. No, it is mine. I can't write no, it is my car. To avoid this, we write it is mine. Or Sirat is one of my friends. I can't write Sirat is a friend of me. So I write Sirat is a friend of mine. That's all for today.